Hi guys, we're out here on this beautiful sunny but brisk fall morning. It's about 38 degrees. The sun is out, but don't let that fool you. It is chilly out here. We've got a little bit of a breeze. It's that bone chilling breeze where it kind of gets under your coat and just chills you to the bone. But I wanted to come out here and get a couple quick things done. We're going to do a little planting, and by little I mean we have one shrub to get in the ground. Then we're going to winterize our hose links, get them all drained out and put away. And then lastly, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of footage of me setting up our Christmas tree. I did that the other night and it was a lot of fun, or the other day actually, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But first, let me show you what we're going to be planting, because this shrub is new for next year and I can't believe I got my hands on it early. Is this not the most beautiful thing you have seen? Look at the foliage on this Oakleaf hydrangea. This is the beauty of the Oakleaf hydrangeas. Their fall show. We've got burgundies, oranges, greens, little tinges of yellow just all over this shrub. And oh my, isn't it just spectacular? I love these, and this is the first one that we're putting in to the garden. I've had these before, but I don't know. This one is just, oh, it's just gorgeous. And the beauty about this, it stays a lot smaller than most. Look at this. This is the Gatsby Glow Ball. This is from Proven Winners. It's going to be out in garden centers next year. And oh my gosh, I'm in love with this. So the beauty of this Oakleaf hydrangea is it only gets 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. Unlike your standard Gatsby Gal, Gatsby Pinks, and a lot of the other Oakleafs, they get a lot bigger, 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. And while those are stunning, if you have a place in your landscape for them, they're great. But if you want the same thing but in a smaller shrub to tuck in somewhere, this is perfect. And I have to say, I love the fact that growers are starting to give us the same varieties, but in a smaller, more compact size. Because again, if you're in like a suburban or urban residential area, and you may not have the space to put something that gets 8 feet tall and wide, but you want the blooms, you want the color, you want everything about it, just in a more smaller, compact size, we're starting to see that more and more. Enter the Gatsby Glow Ball. Oh, this thing is just gorgeous. And I'm so glad that I'm able to show it to you in its fall color, because it is just stunning. So, Oakleaf hydrangeas, they bloom on old wood, meaning you do not want to prune on these. You want to put these somewhere where they can get to their full size and then just leave them be. You do want to trim off the spent blooms and any dead, damaged, or diseased branches and stuff, but you don't need to prune these back like you do your panicle hydrangeas, because the blooms for next year are on this year's stem. So if you prune it too hard, you're going to end up cutting off the blooms, and then next year you're going to wonder why your hydrangeas are not blooming. Well, it's because you pruned them too hard at the wrong time and you cut off a lot of the blooms. Also, if you live in a colder climate, you may want to protect these in the wintertime. Maybe wrap them in a little bit of burlap or frost cloth, because again, those cold temperatures could damage the buds. And then again, that could be another reason why you're not seeing blooms the following year. And lastly, another final reason that you're not seeing blooms is that these are not deer resistant. So if you have deer grazing in your backyard or your front yard or wherever you plant these, you want to put these somewhere with a little bit of protection. You may need to put a little bit of chicken wire, something to keep the deer from getting to these, because they will nibble these down. So you just want to make sure if you want blooms for next year, just kind of keep those 3 things in mind. Now, these are hardy in zones 5 through 9. They like part sun. They do need a little bit of shade in the afternoon, especially if you live in those climates, those zones 8 and 9, where that afternoon sun is just baking. They're not going to be able to handle it. The leaves are just a little too fragile. So in areas like 5 through 7, I could say you could possibly get away with almost full sun, but I will say in the dead of summer, when it's 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when the sun is at its hottest and most intense, you may need to supplement a little bit of water or a little bit of shade for them. Because again, while they do need light to flourish and bloom, that afternoon sun is just a little too harsh. And they do like fairly neutral to acidic soil. If you have clay soil or heavy soil, you want to amend it with a little bit of compost, maybe a little gypsum to kind of help with the drainage, and you want to plant them high. You know me, I plant everything about an inch or two above the soil line. I create a little mound so water flows away from it, and that's my planting technique, especially here because we do have clay soil and it does tend to want to hold on sometimes to a little too much moisture. But this is beautiful. So these will bloom in the summertime. They will come out with a white bloom and then they'll gently, gradually fade to a lime green. The foliage is green until the fall, until the cooler temperatures come, and then they start to shift to this beautiful, beautiful color. I mean, colors, I should say. There's just so many and I'm in love with them. I mean, look at all these colors just on one shrub. Yellows, maroons, reds, oranges. They're just such a great shrub for the fall, for all year round, but oh, they're so pretty. Love them. Now, in the fall, when we get into the winter time, they will drop all of their leaves. They are deciduous, but again, in the spring, they will leaf right back out and start up all over again. And let me show you their blooms. Aren't they pretty? I love that. And the fact that they only get 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, that's just perfect for me because I don't have a lot of room. And it does say they can handle 6 hours of sun. I would give that morning sun, again, 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, hardy in zones 5 through 9. Just beautiful. There's that fall color. We got it right there. That's actually a very good depiction of it. I mean, there it is. Picture versus real life. Oh, gorgeous. So now let me show you where I'm going to plant it. Then we'll get it in the ground and move on to our next job. Right over here in the butterfly garden, we just recently planted the umbrella pine. We just transplanted our brandywine viburnum. We've got a tiny wine 9-bark here and the little lime standard right there. Now this I may move and this I may give away to a friend. I'm not 100% sure. I just haven't been too thrilled with that. And I don't know what I want to do with that. So I'm thinking we could put the Oakleaf hydrangea right in the middle here. It's got more than enough room to get to its full size. Again, 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, and it's a nice round mounded habit. But I'm thinking I do have a couple of roses that are coming in the spring. So I could put a rose here and a rose there. So then we have roses and hydrangeas just banking this whole backside right here, which is what I'm kind of thinking. So again, we may pop out a few of these in the spring, but for now I'm just going to leave them because I don't know what to do. But it's going to go right there, right in the center between the 9-bark and the hydrangea standard. Now this area does get full sun, but you have to remember we've got a dogwood here, a redbud here, a crabapple here, and our newly planted Japanese maple right there. So in the spring and summer, once these leaf out, they are going to cast some dappled shade. And because we're tucking the hydrangea towards the back, almost kind of behind the dogwood a little bit, I think we're going to have the afternoon sun dappled, if not shaded a little bit more. So I think this is going to be the perfect spot, and I will keep an eye on it just to make sure in the spring and summer, you know, when the sun is in a different position, we'll see how it does right there. Lots of moving around over here. And again, I am all for playing musical chairs with your plants and shrubs. If you're not happy with them or you're not happy with where they are, by all means, dig them up and move them somewhere else. The only thing I will say is to take extra care in selecting a spot are your bigger trees and your evergreens, because those you don't really want to disturb them too much once you get them in the ground. Now I have transplanted a couple things. We did transplant the weeping blue spruce and that was fine. But again, that was a fairly new planting of 1 year in the ground. So it really didn't get too rooted in there. But for things that tend to get more established, like for say the crepe myrtle in the back over here, you would not want to move that. I don't even think you could move something like that after 20 some years. But again, that's just my 2 cents. That's my thought. Evergreens and larger trees, you want to just find a spot, get them planted, leave them there. Shrubs, perennials, I mean, you've seen me moving them all over the place, and I think they can handle transplanting a little bit better. So anyways, I've got our bucket of biotone starter fertilizer. I've got a shovel. We're going to be shoveling. We're not going to be doing the auger because we've got mulch over there and it's only 1 hole. I can handle a shovel. Our kneeling pad, gloves. All right, guys, let's get this one in the ground. Doesn't it look so good right there? Oh, I love it. Look at that little pop of color. So I did plant it a little to the left of the Hydrangea standard, a little closer to the 9 bark, because I figure if I do end up getting rid of this, I want to put a rose in here and like just over to the left there. So we'll have the viburnum, the rose, and the hydrangea. So I think that'll be perfect. But oh, you guys, this thing is just so colorful. Look at it. I can't wait for it to get bigger. It's only right now probably about 12 to 16 inches tall. So it's just a baby, but it's beautiful. Gosh, nothing compares to the color of an Oakleaf hydrangea. So we came in here, dug our hole. I added a bunch of biotone starter fertilizer, and I did come in and fill the hole with water a little bit just because the soil seemed a little dry and we're supposed to get down really cold tonight. So I wanted to make sure that the roots had enough moisture before we backfilled it and then watered it in again. But I really am happy with the placement of this. So to recap, this is the Gatsby Glow Ball. It's new in garden centers next year. I'm really happy that we were able to get our hands on it early. It grows 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. It's hardy in zones 5 through 9. It likes slightly acidic to neutral soil, morning sun, afternoon shade if you're in the higher zones, and just keep the soil consistently moist, but it doesn't like boggy conditions, and it has a rounded mounding habit, and it's just beautiful. Blooms on old wood. Again, you don't want to prune too hard on it, just remove the spent blooms. Any dead, damaged, or diseased branches, put it in a place where it can get to its mature size, and it should be happy. And you guys, look at it back there. It just glows. Hence, glow ball. Now that our planting project is done, we can move on to winterizing the hose lengths, and that's pretty simple. All we have to do is disconnect them from the spigot. One of us likes to stand on the kitchen porch with the hose reel. The other one will pull it all the way out, let the hose retract, and that helps flush all the water out of the hose. And then we just dry it off and store it in the basement until next season. So Mo ran to the grocery store real quick. So once he gets back, we'll jump right into that project. Disconnect the wand from the hose. Let that drain out. We disconnect it from the spigot. You can see it's draining a little bit already. So this is how it comes off, right there. All right, and Mo's just gonna take it up to the kitchen porch, and I'm just gonna take the hose, extend it all the way out, and then let it retract all the way back in. Whoa, I'm like right in the bed, okay. What? I know, right? Okay, one thing you want to make sure, you don't want to let this slam right into here. So you want to keep a little bit of control right as you get to the end. All right, we're done. Oh. We got our new hydrangea planted, and I absolutely love it. We've got our hose lengths drained and downstairs in the basement. So we are done with our projects outside, and I'm going to leave you with a little bit of footage of me decorating our Christmas tree. It's the first time we've had it upstairs in the family room. Usually we have it downstairs, but because Mo set up his whole theater sound system, there's no free corner. So I just picked a spot upstairs and went to town and had a ball. And I was going to do a whole video on it, but we don't have a lot of vintage ornaments from my childhood. My brother and I were talking about this the other day. Our parents were very pragmatic, and they weren't very sentimental or emotionally attached to things like I am. So in like a cleaning frenzy, they donated all of that stuff. So we're kind of starting from scratch with our own new traditions now, vintage ornaments and stuff like that. So maybe next year, as I collect more, we can do a full-on, like, here's our ornaments and here's our decorating, da-da-da. But for now, I'll leave you with a little bit of footage of getting our tree ready for the holidays. And you guys, that is it for our video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.